When you hear the words computer security, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it some hacker in a dark room? Or maybe a screen full of complicated code? Yeah, for a lot of us, it feels kind of intimidating, right? Almost out of reach. But what if I told you the biggest secrets to staying safe online aren't really that complex at all? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on computer security and show you how a few simple habits can really empower you to protect your digital life. So let's just start with a really direct question. How secure is your digital life actually? I mean, think about it. From your phone to your cloud storage, your entire life is this giant network of connections. Learning how to protect that network isn't just about dodging threats. It's honestly one of the most empowering skills you can have right now. All right, first up, let's talk about what's really at stake here. This isn't some abstract thing about protecting giant companies or secret government files. No, we're going to look at how all these risks directly impact you, your money, your privacy, and even just your day-to-day life. So, when we say computer security, what are we really talking about? Well, at its very core, it's about one thing: protection. It's all about safeguarding our digital stuff from, anyone who shouldn't have access to it. Honestly, you can just think of it as a digital version of locking your doors and windows at night. Simple as that. And boy, the need for those digital locks is just growing like crazy. We trust these connected systems with everything: our finances, our health records, our most private conversations. And every single new smart device or app we add to our lives, it's kind of like adding another door or window to our digital home. It just creates new ways in that we need to be aware of. Okay, so what do these digital dangers actually look like in the wild? In this next part, we're going to basically perform an autopsy on a cyber attack. We'll break down some of the most common threats you're likely to run into. Now, even though the list of potential threats can seem totally endless, it turns out most of them can be boiled down into two main flavors. The first type of attack is all about trickery. They call it social engineering, basically manipulating people to get them to give up their private info. And the second type? Well, that's the one that uses malicious software, or malware, to do the dirty work. Let's tackle the trickery first. And the most common form of trickery, one I bet you've seen, is something called phishing. This is where an attacker pretends to be someone you trust, like your bank, maybe a delivery service, or even a coworker, to fool you into handing over your sensitive info. Come on, we've all gotten that one suspicious email that just made us pause for a second, right? So here's a classic example. You get this urgent-looking email. It seems to be from your bank, and it's screaming that your account has been locked. It tells you to click a link right now to fix it. But if you look a little closer, you start to see these little red flags. Maybe a couple of misspellings, or generic greeting like "Dear Valued Customer," or the sender's email address just looks weird. Those are the telltale signs of a phishing scam. This whole scam really just boils down to a simple three-step trap. It kicks off with that deceptive message we just talked about. Then, step 2 is where they bait you into clicking that shady link. And finally, that link takes you to a fake website that looks totally real, and that's where your information gets stolen. It's a classic con job that only works if they can trick you. Okay, so that brings us to the second major category of attack: malware. It's short for malicious software. See, this isn't about tricking you anymore. This is about actually infecting your device with nasty code that can steal your data, lock up your files and demand a ransom, or even turn your computer into a zombie to attack other people. Now, inside the world of malware, there's a classic mix-up I want to clear up: the difference between a virus and a worm. Think of a virus like a parasite. It has to latch onto a host file, and you, the user, have to actually click on that infected file to set it off. But a worm? Oh, a worm is way more like a contagion. It can copy itself and spread across a whole network, all on its own, no clicks required. All right, we've seen the threats, which can be a little scary, I know. So now let's shift gears and talk about the good stuff, the solutions. In this section, we're going to explore how you can go from being a potential target to being an active defender of your own digital world. So how do we fight back? Well, the official term for that is a countermeasure. Basically, it's just any action, any tool, or any technique we can use to reduce a threat. Put it this way: these are the shields and swords we get to use in this digital fight. And one of the most powerful countermeasures out there isn't actually a piece of software at all. It's a mindset. It's called security by design. It just means building security into our systems from the very beginning, instead of trying to slap it on as an afterthought. Think about it like building a house with a solid foundation and good locks from day one, rather than trying to board up the windows after someone's already broken in. A perfect example of a technical countermeasure is a firewall, and the absolute best way to picture it is as a digital gatekeeper. It just stands guard between your computer and the wild, untrusted internet. It carefully checks everything coming in and going out, and if anything looks suspicious or breaks the rules, it gets blocked. But here's the thing. All the firewalls and clever designs in the world can't protect us if we forget about the single most important piece of the security puzzle: us, the human factor. That is the true first line of defense. And get this, check out this number. According to report after report, over 90% of all security breaches involve some kind of human error. That could be clicking on a phishing link, using a super weak password, or falling for a scam. It's a huge number, and it just goes to show that our everyday actions have a massive, massive impact. And this brings us to what I think is the most empowering idea in this whole explainer: digital hygiene. It's just like personal hygiene. You wash your hands to avoid getting sick, right? Well, digital hygiene is the same idea. It's a bunch of simple, routine habits that dramatically lower your risk online. It's not about being a tech wizard. It's just about being mindful and building good habits. So, what does good digital hygiene look like in practice? Let's just run through this checklist real quick. First, use two-factor authentication. It's a game changer that stops bad guys even if they steal your password. Keep your software updated. This closes the security holes that those worms just love to wiggle through. Think before you click. That is your #1 defense against phishing. Use strong, unique passwords for all your different accounts. And finally, back up your important data. That's your ultimate safety net. In the end, security really isn't something you can just buy off a shelf. It's something you do. It's a set of habits, a constant practice of just being a little more aware. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Looking at that checklist, what's just one simple habit you can start or maybe change starting today to take control and secure your own digital world?